Many people in the Diocese of Virginia know Dr. David Holland Charlton as president of church schools in the diocese, and that next May he will be retiring from that post after almost continuous service since 1989. David Charlton's contribution to the Diocese of Virginia, however, extend far beyond this important role in our common life, with extended service and leadership in both finance and education. David was born to Gordon and Cutler Charlton in May of 1951. Gordon was a World War II Navy vet and an ordained Episcopal priest. During David's early childhood years, the Charlton family lived and served the Episcopal Church in a variety of places. After graduating from St. Stephen's School in Alexandria, David attended the College of William and Mary, graduated in 1973 with a bachelor's degree in history. He ultimately went on to earn from William and Mary both a Master of Education degree in Developmental Counseling and also a Doctor of Education degree in history. While earning his advanced degrees, David began working in colleges, rising quickly to become the Assistant Vice President of the College of William and Mary from 1980 to 1984. It was also during this time that he and his future wife, Wendy, met, started dating, and were married within 6 months. Around this time, David and his young family, their first child, Wes, was born in 1983, followed by Connor in 1986, they made a life-changing decision that they would leave the career path of colleges in order for David to serve the Episcopal Church. Finance was David Charlton's initial and enduring role in the Episcopal Church in Virginia. In 1984, Virginia Theological Seminary chose him to be their chief financial and administrative officer, responsible for accounting, investments, personnel, construction, and other financial and administrative affairs. The new Bishop of Virginia at that time, the Right Reverend Peter James Lee, quickly noted David's gifts and recruited him to be the treasurer of the Diocese of Virginia in 1987. That diocesan role prompted other related duties and additional financial leadership posts, many of which extended beyond his tenure as diocesan treasurer. This broad base of knowledge undoubtedly prompted Bishop Lee to also appoint David as secretary of the diocese in 1995. When the Reverend Christopher Brookfield resigned as head of the church schools in the diocese, Bishop Lee urged Dr. Charlton to apply, and he was chosen for the position of president of church schools in the Diocese of Virginia, effective in October 1988. At that time, the 6 schools included Christ Church, St. Agnes, St. Stephen's, St. Catherine's, St. Christopher's, and St. Margaret's schools. Immediately, Dr. Charlton found himself in an intense situation: the proposed merger of the 2 single-sex Alexandria schools. In 1990, St. Agnes and St. Stephen's combined to form St. Stephen's and St. Agnes School, the first entirely coeducational school in the church schools in the Diocese of Virginia system. Local school challenges emerged again, prompting David to step in to fill a leadership vacuum at Christ Church School in 1995. At the request of Christ Church, David, with his intimate knowledge of the school and his well-known financial acumen, was called to be its new head. He filled this post for 5 years and returned to the presidency of church schools in 2000. Throughout his tenure as president of church schools, Dr. Charlton has guided the system through the challenges of expanding technology education, remote learning, diversity of race, religion, sexual orientation, and recently the effect of the coronavirus, as well as the challenges of bringing Stuart Hall from the Diocese of Southwestern Virginia into the school system. He has also recalibrated individual school and system financing for the 21st century. And at the same time, he has pointed the way to a possible vocation for students of the system, the priesthood, by serving as a trustee of the Virginia Theological Seminary and most recently as president of that board of trustees. With his retirement as president of church schools in the Diocese of Virginia at the end of the 21-22 school year, the system will lose a leader of remarkable long-term dedication, insight, and wise counsel, an understanding of the needs of both students and educators, fiscal acumen, effective response to and forbearance in challenges and crises, and deep institutional knowledge. The diocese is thankful to Dr. Charlton for many decades of leadership of church schools, as well as service on the diocesan staff and many other related institutions, and for all the sacrifices he and his family have made in order for him to minister in this way and in God's name.